Hello, welcome
Yo,
to the first episode of the Transcendence Cast. Thank you for joining us. We're super excited to start this podcast series and begin to build this universe, is how we see it. So, the vision for this podcast is we're going to kind of bring you guys along the way as Will and I, or rather Thailand, Bill and I, and more members of the team that have yet to reveal themselves emerge throughout this journey as we build this universe of different businesses, cohorts, communities, retreats, etc. So the first episode, I guess, we're just going to chat and maybe talk a little bit of vision behind what it is that we actually want to create. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, Thailand Bill. You want to give the people an introduction? I can give an introduction too, but I'll let you go first.
Yee, what's up? I don't really, let's see. Introduction, I hate this question because it's like, okay, where do you start? But I guess most simple would be I met Jack about a year and a half ago, got into the online business game, and then about 9 months ago, left my 9 to 5, super nice, prestigious job, and here we all are. I was doing marketing for a bit, and then now what's most exciting is building this transcendence thing with Jack. So that's where the focus is. And I think for me, like going to a retreat in Austin, that was what made me move to Thailand, hence Thailand Bill, which is where I moved like 5 months ago. And then doing a retreat in North Thailand was like so awesome. I was like, I want to just do more of these. I said to Jack. So
Mm.
that's me in a nutshell. Um, and yeah, super stoked to be here. It's a lovely morning in the burbs right now. I'm back from Thailand in Canada and I'm in the burbs. It's a sunny day and I think it's gonna be a good chat today. So
Yes, amazing. I'm also back in the burbs of Illinois. Will's in Canada. I get the sun shining on me. It's pretty beautiful out here, and yeah, I think we're entering a building season of this universe and the rest of our lives. And I mean, Will and I had so much fucking fun in Thailand. Like we have I wonder like what stories are going to come up throughout these podcasts. Like they're just going to come up naturally, I'm sure.
yeah,
But we had a lot of fun in Thailand and also like a lot of growth and development. And it's this combination of like basically we spent a week building in Bangkok, like 12-hour days building Sovereign Creators, which is a community within this transcendence universe, which we'll go into the different containers in the universe in a little bit. But we spent a week in Bangkok basically building and then like going hard. We were going hard in business and then we were going hard at night in nightclubs and things like this and raves. And then we went to northern Thailand and ran a retreat, which you could say is under the Transcendence net. I think from now on, all the retreats are going to be very clearly defined as like this is a transcendence experience. Um,
mm,
but yeah, that was really magical. And then we kind of split for about 10 days. I went to the islands, kind of spent some time alone decompressing. Will went back to Bangkok, and then we met for about 2 days in Bangkok again, and we had a really fun time. Like we had a really fun time. We went to a techno rave and then we are kind of bored and we just walked down the street to a bar and we ended up sitting there for hours scheming this universe. And then we went back to a different type of club. And then we came home. And so now we've been home for like a week each. And these different programs and containers are kind of starting to all come together and get off the ground. And so, yeah, man, I don't know about you, but like, I feel very excited about the next 5 months of being home and um, kind of being on more of a, I'm not going to call it a monk mode protocol, but I will call it a locked in arc. I would call it a locked in arc of a different energy than maybe Thailand. Thailand's very flowy for me. It's very free. Here it's like I feel very dialed. So yeah, how have these first few days been for you back from Thailand to Canada? Because it's a major
Dude,
transition.
it's been fucking strange, honestly, coming back. Actually, it's been better than I thought it would be. Like just the little things you notice going back to like the suburbs from, Thailand, which is Thailand's quite like rough around the edges, I would say. Like it's a really nice place to be in terms of like vibrancy, but it's a bit rougher on like the standard of living. Coming back here, I'm just like excited about like how easy it's gonna be to lock in out here. Like the food you can get is so good. Like back at my parents' house, which is fine, but it's a very nice house. And I'm just looking around like, okay, it's gonna be super easy now to just do so much more, go so much harder in this environment. So I guess that's what I'm kind of like excited about. I don't know, being back in Canada generally, like it's kind of hard to say because socially, like it's just been the suburbs so far. So you don't really notice as much. I feel like for me, I'm nearby Toronto, Ontario, or Toronto, Canada, I should say. I think for me, going to Toronto would be like the craziest culture shift versus like
Mm.
what Bangkok was. Like 5 months more or less in Bangkok, Thailand, versus like Toronto, Canada. I feel like I'm just gonna notice like one thing you notice about Thailand is how like friendly or neutral people are. Versus I feel like in Toronto, people are a bit more like hustle and bustly. It's kind of like New York, where people want to like keep to themselves
Hmm.
and just like all these like little like small things. Yeah.
It's very interesting to think about the difference in these cities because it felt to me like Bangkok was still very hustle and bustle, like it was super energy, high energy, like tons of stimulation, everybody's running around. But I feel like in the US, people are trying, or maybe even Canada too, let's say, or more of a first world country, people are hustling to get somewhere. Whereas like in Bangkok, I feel like everybody's hustling around just to like keep the city going and just
Mm.
like to maintain themselves. But like I think there's just a different thing hardwired into our minds and programming in the West that like we're hustling to get somewhere. But in the East, it doesn't feel like those people from those native cultures are
They're
necessarily
like
trying
they're
to
like
go
hustling,
anywhere.
but it's like in the flow. I don't know. Like you look at like a bike driver, like a Grab
Yes.
motorbike driver, like delivering food. They don't seem like they're actually like trying to get anywhere. They're just like moving quickly, but it's like in flow still.
Yes. Yeah, and it seems like there's just like a general enjoyment of life there in all the different parts, like in the city, in the sub, in Pi, like a mountain town in the islands, that I haven't felt in like a US city where it's less common. But I do feel now coming back here that I feel like I am perceiving my hometown differently because I'm different, essentially. Like it's always been this way. Every summer it looks like it looks now. The neighborhood looks the same. The people look the same, but like there's just a different vibrancy and vitality to life that I'm noticing because I've changed. And like I was walking around yesterday and I think I texted it to you. I was like, dude, like it's always been a psychedelic trip. It's always been perfect. Like, if you've ever walked around maybe your neighborhood or something on psychedelics, which I don't know how many people have had that experience, but I remember I had that experience and I was like, wow, everything is just incredibly vibrant and perfect and beautiful. But like that's just seeing clearly. It's like it's always like that. But usually
Yeah.
our eyes are not clear enough to see.
Well, like by all means, like a suburb is perfect. Everybody has a house, everybody has their own space, green grass, blue skies. It's just like we can always look at something and be like, oh, here's the problem. Because that's just like how the human mind works. But like
Yes.
objectively looking at a suburb, this is perfect. Everybody has their needs met. You know, you can go over to your neighbor's house if you want to, hang out. It is
I think
perfect,
I, I
full of
think we can
nature.
perceive it more this way because we are like really in the driver's seat of our lives living here. Like we have autonomy over our days. Whereas
Yeah.
like something else I've always thought about this since I was a kid. Like I used to love days where I would stay home from school as a kid, and it would be like a Tuesday or Wednesday at like 11 in the morning. And like I was like, wait, like these houses, everything still exists here at this time of day, even when everybody's in school, everybody's in work. Like, what if we all just got to chill out all the time and like all be at home? Because I think it's really nice to not be on a defined schedule. But what I noticed walking around last night at like 7, 8 p.m. is like there's a lot of people that are just getting home from work, or like they're still in their work clothes and like they need to go walk their dog, or they're like on a work, they're on calls and they look stressed and they're walking their dog around the neighborhood. And it's like, I think we can perceive it as beautiful and perfect and Eden like because we are controlling our schedules. But most people that live in the suburbs are working a full-time job, and
Mhm.
I don't know if they get to fully experience what is it like to just be in their home, in their town.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's
even like
limited.
an hour in that experience though on like a Saturday, if you could actually feel it, would be pretty nice.
Definitely.
But
I
most
mean,
people
I think
actually
that's why
can.
people
Yeah,
love the weekend so much. But what
but
if
even
life was
then,
just
like,
one perpetual weekend? Weekends are not even real.
bro, I like barely even. I never know what day it is these days.
I mean, can you
I do
imagine
think
how
it's Friday. I do think it's Friday today.
it is Friday?
But like this whole like, oh, like it's the weekend, bro. Like, oh, you want to come watch UFC this weekend? It's like, fuck, like maybe, dude. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, there's something about that, something to that.
Yeah, like
It's
can
just
you
like this
imagine?
whole like idea of like your whole like week is for the weekend, and then fucking brutal, man,
Yes.
brutal.
Yes. I mean, we've been talking about it so much, but like once you get a taste of freedom, once you get a taste of learning how to make money by yourself, it's like, how could you go back to a defined schedule being given to you? Or like, I don't even
Bro, I
know,
feel like
dude.
I'd
Like a
fight my
lot of
boss.
people, a lot of people work. I
I would
couldn't
fight
do
my
it. Like
boss.
every time I do get a job, I can't do it. Like like it's like in my spirit. My spirit can't do it. I can't contain it. I have to be building my own things. And I think it's because I've tasted too much freedom and I've seen too much of my potential to think about trading that in for a stable paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always had like an issue with like authority in general. Like when I used to have a job at a grocery store as a kid in high school, I didn't like having a boss, and I would deliberately, because I knew the job was pointless. Like I would do all my work in, three out of my, in like 3 hours, all the work that needed to be done was done. But I had to be there for 6 hours, and I always hated that. So I would always, I don't know, go to the gym during my work shift for like an hour, and then come back, put on my gear again, and like be there. Like I just never liked this authority, and like in corporate, I feel like it got worse. Where like someone's just telling you what to do the whole time, no autonomy really. I just didn't like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for me. I mean, I think that's what's led us to like go to Thailand and begin to make internet money and go down all the esoteric rabbit holes, which we haven't even touched on, like one bit, which we will, I'm sure, when it's time. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, dude, it was the same for me, like in school, like looking back to school, like needing to go to this school from 8 in the morning till 3 every day and sit in a class, like it was so fucking horrible for me. Like I would spend most of my days watching the clock, like when is it going to be over? When is it going to be over? And like that programming is just so
Mhm.
deep in in us that like this is where the living for the weekend comes from. It's like, okay, I have to go to school at this defined time, and then I'm free once it hits 3 o'clock. Then I'm free once it hits the weekend. But like that's all fuck like that's all an illusion. Like in an enlightened society, we would all be completely free all of the time.
Yeah. It's funny how like what you're saying with the school and like watching the clock. they kind of like condition time and waiting for things to be
Yes.
good. Like, oh, you got to wait for 2 hours until the next recess. Oh, you got to wait an
Yes.
hour until this like, class, this math class is over. And then like, oh, you got to wait till the weekend so you can go watch your sports game or whatever, drink your beer. Oh, you got to wait till you're 65 to like actually not have to work at all.
Right.
You gotta
Well, that's
wait till your credit
devastating.
score is this high so you can get a home. Like I feel like it's just like all conditioned for waiting. And we could talk about
Yes.
debt maxing later if you want to. I
I don't know if
explained
it's
this to my
time
friend
yet.
last night. Yeah. I feel like it's off topic. It's off topic.
It might be, but that's in a future module
Future module,
potentially.
yeah. By my course. Yeah. No, like, but yeah, it's like a culture of like waiting. And I feel like that culture of waiting, and there are objective realities. Like you do have to go to work if you're a normal person. And I'm privileged to not do that and will never have to do that because I've kind of figured out the things to escape that route. But lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's like a culture of waiting. And I feel like if you could get over that time and the waiting and all the conditioning, you could see through it. And some people would see how good their life is. Like right now, I'm walking through a neighborhood that's every house here is like super nice. And like, I feel like these people, because it's like so much waiting and just like conditioning and programming to like not enjoy your life, they can't see through it. But if for like even 1 hour they could fully see what they have, it would be like magical.
Hmm, that's interesting. I think that that kind of ties into what we're trying to create and build here, in a way, is for the people that have seen through the illusion or are beginning to question the illusion, beginning to question the programs, beginning to question this 9 to 5 path. Like it's so obvious to me now, like a job, like what? Like no. But like to the people who are just beginning to step into this new reality, this is why I am so excited about everything we're creating because I think it helps at multiple different levels along the way. I think, and maybe this is where we go into the different containers of this universe, but I see it as though the vision of transcendence is to actually ascend people up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like, let's
Mm-hmm.
help you solve your survival needs through the modern online skills and ideally creating a digital resume, aka a creator personal brand, which is so nuanced, which we'll be going into so much more.
Yeah.
Let's find a way that you can make money in minimal time so that you can maximize your freedom, so you can figure out who you truly are. And then let's do the internal work and self discovery and esoteric learning to understand who you are at the deepest level and unlock your potential so you can impact society. So it's like, ideally, we're helping people move from survival on that pyramid up to self-actualization, to transcendence. Literally, that's in the name. Like the
Mm-hmm.
name of this universe is to help people transcend every single level of where they're at. And
Yeah,
it lights me
goosebumps.
up.
Goosebumps. Yeah.
It lights
For
me up.
real.
It feels like very like if we talk about dharma, mission, purpose, all of these things, it's like I feel like this is I'm a vessel for this. I'm a
Yeah.
vessel for this, and I think you are too. And it's interesting, like, how did we even come to this conclusion to build these different things? But maybe
Yeah.
we should tell these people, tell the people what the different things are that we're building. So I'm just gonna run through them and feel free to
Yeah.
add
Go for it.
nuance or say anything that I missed. But I'm gonna try to map out the vision for the universe. So the universe is basically, think about transcendence as like this broad net where there are sub containers and businesses within transcendence. So there is a community called sovereign creators which is a low ticket $150 one-time payment community to help people reach internet freedom, make their first dollars online, learn the modern skill set, access a network of creators around the world, and begin to set themselves on the trajectory towards entrepreneurship, self-sovereignty, absolute autonomy, and anti-fragile modern skill set, and eventually getting paid to just become who they truly are, like getting paid to be themselves. So that's Sovereign Creators, which is one of the most immediate things that we're working on here. It is open. There are still a few things that we want to add in. It's going to be growing over the next 5, 10, 20 years. So it is open for enrollment. But the second thing that also you would get access to Sovereign Creators with is we're running something called a Transcendence Sprint. So this sprint is a 30-day personal development identity transformation cohort. So we're going to be running these a few times a year, but the essence is with 30 days of intense focus, discipline, accountability, education, and community, and challenges and different things to kind of push you over that edge and unlock your next evolution of self, you're going to 3x who you are in all dimensions of life. Literally mathematically, if you increase 4% a day for 30 days, it's 3.25% or 3.25x improvement. So Transcendence Sprint cohort are going to be these micro cohorts every probably a few times a year, 30 days, and the first one starts July 30th. And if you join the first one, you get access to Sovereign Creators for free for life. So that is very exciting. So those are the two most immediate things. Now, I'll zoom out even a little bit more to the vision for this universe. So another school community called Transcendence, actually, is brewing, and it's going to contain all of the education in Sovereign Creators with online business, internet money, but it's also going to contain much more esoteric teachings on spirituality, quantum physics, energy, universal laws, astrology, human design, numerology, quantum physics, a lot of very more esoteric, mystical concepts in that community, along with more of a focus on the vision is to have some type of event for internal growth every single night happening. So there would be a guided meditation on Monday. This is theoretically, this is not ready yet. This is probably over the next handful of months. There's a guided meditation, then there's a guided breath work, then there's a guided sound bath or sound healing. Then there is a guided quantum healing session potentially. Then there's a guided Kundalini activation session. Then there's a live Rasha quantum consciousness elevation technology session. So the idea, the vision with that community, which would be a little bit more expensive, the aim would be like around $300 a month, is that every single night you would have access to something to accelerate your growth, and there's a whole library of content. So I'm going to run back through them. We have Sovereign Creators Community, Transcendence Sprint, Transcendence Community, which is not ready yet, then retreats and expeditions. So we just ran a retreat in Thailand. Actually, it was an expedition. It was a 10-day retreat, and it was fucking amazing. And we've ran 3 retreats so far, and there's going to be many more coming. Probably no more in 2025, just circumstances-wise. But 2026, we're already mapping out a handful of different retreats, expeditions in the U.S., in Thailand, potentially in Europe. It's going to be incredible. Now, a vision beyond those retreats is to invest in some type of healing center and build a healing center as well, probably in a place like Thailand, but that's more big picture vision. Coming back,
Yes,
one last thing is we're going to have a lot of micro courses available in like a course catalog on a stand store for, like, for example, there would be like a manifestation / energetics course. There would be a identity transformation course. There would be an astrology / a self-understanding course. So that those are all the different moving parts of this universe. And there's also a one-on-one tier called the reality transformation if you want to work one-on-one to get really personalized support and a plan and all of these things. Those are the different containers. Did I miss anything Will.
That's it. No, I mean, like, I'm pumped up
Okay, nice.
listening to that, but I think that was it. Yeah, for now. For
Nice.
now, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There could be
Stay
more. I
tuned.
think festivals, music, frequency. There's a lot more that's going to be brewing over the next handful of years. But I mean, this idea of building a digital universe has been in my mind probably for about 6 months, I would say. Like I want to build my own digital universe. That's what was really top of mind. And it feels like everything is clicking together here under this net. And yeah, it's like it's a long-term project. I don't see myself because and it also because it's so broad as well. That's why it feels like something that I'll pursue for as long as I can see because it's broad enough to contain all of my interests.
Yeah, yeah. Like it all fits under the same bucket, and it's all pointed at the same mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you see it evolving from this current point? Because it feels like maybe we've been in this for a little bit, but I think when we look back like 10 years from now, it's going to be like, wow, this was really just the first week basically.
Yeah, it's like minute one or something right now
Yes.
on like on a year scale or something. I mean, I think the digital first is kind of how I see cash flow being generated for the big picture mission, right? Like generating cash flow via online communities, cohorts, digital products, and then also the in-person retreats happening a few times a year. I feel like the evolution is to more physical things because the biggest thing I see and have seen with like online business is that in person, meeting people in person is always 10 times better than online. It's just the way it is. There's something about people when you get together in person that's so magical. So I see the V2 iteration as you kind of said, like whether it's a physical retreat center, living center, festivals, all this kind of fun brick and mortar stuff that costs more money. So it's a higher investment. It's more capital. I see that as like V2 because I feel like that's where so much magic can happen getting people in person.
I'm with that.
But I see the V1 as being like kind of scrappy startup vibe, like all, digital first, a lot of, I don't know, just, yeah, a lot of hustle and just getting it off the ground. And I feel like players will emerge as we go. That will be a huge assist in kind of seeing this vision to the finish line. I feel like it's gonna be a team effort, but I feel like it's all worth it, and it's gonna be fun to do it. And I feel
I
kind of
agree.
excited right now being at the like start line because if I've learned anything, it's that like a lot of things in life, it's such a cliche, but like that journey is the fun part, you know.
Of course.
And I feel like something like this is kind of like a thing that continues. Like once you kind of complete, because it's kind of an intrinsic game to build it, although it has a lot of purpose, it's intrinsic to want to build it. Like each time you kind of finish a certain layer, like V1, V2, V3, the next layer will just be like, oh wow, we can go even bigger. So
Hmm.
I feel like that's gonna be fun too.
It's
But
it's really it's really interesting what you're saying about, the journey and not the destination because I just saw this video on Twitter yesterday of the best golfer in the world. His name's Scotty Scheffler. Did you see this video?
he's not like the guy who drinks like
No, not this
the
guy.
Diet Cokes and smokes cigarettes. No. Okay.
No, this guy basically he had an interview and he was just like getting super existential about like being the best golfer in the world. He's like, yeah, like it's cool. You win the nationals, you win the championship, you hold up your trophy, like your family's with you, and then what? And then what? Like you got to go find something to eat for dinner. Like what's the point of all of this? Like that he was getting really existential. This is the best golfer in the world. Um, which was quite interesting to see. It kind of reminded me of Aaron Rodgers, NFL quarterback, because that's how he felt after his Super Bowl championship in 2011. He's like, what now? Like, what am I like? What the fuck? Like, I still don't feel any different. And then that sent him on like an inward journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like
I have two
the
really big
motive.
things on that.
Oh no, go for it. Go for it.
First off, just to echo, like you're talking a lot about athletes. My friend, he's in the startup world and he talks to a lot of like mentors who have made it, like they're 40 multimillionaires, and all of them are like, this isn't fun anymore. I want to go back to where you are. I want to start again. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I want. That's all I want, to be young again, high energy, and
Fuck,
chasing
man.
again.
That fills me up with vitality, really. And it makes me so excited for like this season of life of just, kind of being a rogue mercenary, like being
Yeah.
scrappy, being high energy, running
I feel
around,
like, dude,
making
it's
moves,
all
calling
energy,
shots,
bro.
riding motorbikes, going to strip clubs.
You're on the strip. Yeah, I'm with,
Like
dude.
it's all
I'm
there.
kind of realizing it as I say it is like, yes, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fulfilled because there is purpose behind what we're doing. When it's all said and done, I'm like, thing, it's built. It was epic. That will be fulfilling, and all the love that came out of it through connections and actually helping people, that will be fulfilling. But I feel like right now is the best place to be at the start line, full of energy, young, no stress really. All the stress is pretty much imagined because I don't have, kids or a mortgage or any of this actual real stress. It's just kind of
All
like a
stress
personal
is
thing.
imaginary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe not for everybody, but I think for our situation, correct.
So I'm excited to be here with the vision, with the energy. But and then the second point I was going to make, because I kind of mentioned how like a lot of business people, conventional athletes, like they see the success they always wanted, and they kind of burn out or they get existential. Like my mentor Lee, he works with guys who are in that position, right? And he's like mindfulness kind of consciousness coach. And what he's found is that once these people kind of go inwards, like Aaron Rodgers, like they actually are able to feel all the material abundance they've created, and then through that internal shift, and then their
Mm,
life is magic again. And I feel like that's kind of the
mm,
exciting part about transcendence is it's both the material game and the like spiritual game.
mm. Fascinating. Yeah, I have a thought on that as well. I did an MDMA journey, like, and most people are like, "What the fuck? You just did MDMA?" No, I did it in like a therapeutic. I did it in a therapeutic context, like a very healing context, and the idea clicked so easily into my mind, and I was so high vibrational in that state, and it was like internet freedom to internal freedom, internet freedom to internal freedom. Like that's the game. That's the game. That's the roadmap. It's, find a way to make some money on the internet and then pursue what is inside. And then it will amplify everything on the outside. It's like that's the game. Um, so that feels exciting because I think we're living that path ourselves, and then we're also teaching what we're walking, which feels really exciting as well. Something else last night, dude. I played some Xbox last night for the first time in a long time, since well before Thailand. And I was playing NBA 2K. This is like my favorite game. And I've always been obsessed with building dynasties, building a team that is going to be amazing in 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would do as a kid is I got really good at spotting an opportunity, spotting young talent, and putting a team together and simulating 5 years until we win like 5 championships in a row eventually. But like the first few years are kind of tough. Like you intentionally almost suck. Like you intentionally have the worst record in the league so that you can get the number one pick, so you can keep stacking the team.
Yeah.
And what I've always equated that to with Transcendence is like the vision is very big. It's not just like, okay, I'm going to build a fitness coaching business and like it's going to be super successful. That's like the equivalent of like, okay, we're going to build a playoff team this year and we're going to make the playoffs every year. And maybe some year we'll win the championship. But like, I'm talking dynasty. I'm talking Golden State Warriors. I'm talking New England Patriots, like level dynasty, Chicago
Yeah.
Bulls in the 90s. And what I realized last night, because I'm building another franchise, which I went back to 1984. I'm building the Bulls, whatever. Doesn't matter specifics. But what I realized is I have this team where everybody in the starting lineup is like 22 or 23 years old, including Michael Jordan. He's not that good yet. He's good, but he's not like the best player in the league good. And all these guys are 21 to 23, and we're pretty good, but like we're not going to win the championship. And we're not going to win the championship for probably 2 or 3 years. We're not going to be hitting our peak until 5 to 8 years. And so what I always did as a kid is I would press simulate and I would skip ahead to the point where we win all the championships. But what I realized in real life is there's no simulate button, and you wouldn't want there to be a simulate button. And what I'm doing now with this franchise, first time in my life, is like I'm gonna make this a lesson. I'm gonna make it an equation to my real life business with Transcendence. That is the dynasty in real life. That we're just a bunch of young dudes starting to figure it out, and eventually it will be big. Is I'm gonna play every single game for every single season, and it's gonna take a long fucking time to do that. And I could just hit simulate and skip ahead 5 years and win all the championships. But if I'm equating this to real life, yeah, you have to go day in and day out and play the game and play the business game and make the transaction and like. But I see the vision. I see the vision in both this NBA 2K league in 3 to 5 years. We're gonna be the dynasty. I see it in Transcendence. We're gonna be the dynasty. It's all about how do we stay aligned day to day and then actualize our own individual potential while elevating everybody else around us. So that's my
Yes.
NBA 2K ramble about
Dude, that
how
is
I see
epic.
Transcendence evolving. It's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing playing out.
Yeah. No, I see it. I feel like also like doing that, like playing that game as a kid is such good like uh programming in a way. To like actually build something like scrappy and then see it win like again and again. Like I feel
Yes.
like video games sometimes get like a bad rap for like being violent or whatever. I guess it's sometimes true. But, like
Yeah, man. Like,
I used to play like Age of Empires was my
mm,
game as a kid. Age of Empires was like a medieval video game you play on PC where you build an actual like I guess town or city with walls and turrets and barracks where you build troops and stuff, and then you build your army and you go attack a neighboring town. So you basically play like king. And I was playing that at age 6. It's like talk about good programming. Like you're like basically you're a kid who's 6 simulating being general and king on their computer. Like I feel like that's like in some ways there's so many potential positives with technology. It's just I sometimes feel like where we're at right now is a very primitive use of what we have available to us.
mm. Yeah, I think those games can help you begin to think much bigger as a kid.
Yeah, and like really sometimes stretch your imagination too. Like Minecraft's kind of a good example of that. You can be a
Yes.
lot more creative in Minecraft than its physical equivalent, which was like Legos. That was like my dad's
Yes.
generation. Minecraft
Yes.
was just like playing Lego
Interesting.
sets. Like Minecraft, you can like be an entire world and create huge structures and stuff.
Yes. And that's like the equivalent, I think, of what we're building here in this digital metaverse. Like eventually this is going to be a metaverse too, probably. Like if we shift even more into visionary mode, like okay, the Transcendence healing event that happens Wednesday night that used to be online is it's now happening in the metaverse. Like I could see
Yeah,
that being a thing.
I feel like that technology will definitely play a part as like complementary to like physical in-person real life events, but I feel like yeah, I mean it's all there to be created. I'm pretty stoked. I'm very stoked.
Me too. And then when you go to Thailand, you really feel like you're living in GTA.
Dude, like yeah, don't even get me started. I don't know why Thailand feels like GTA, but I feel like part of it is you drop a lot of conditioning from the West and you start
Yes.
to see life for what it actually is, which is like, for all I know, like this could just be some like I could just be in GTA 8 right now. Like, wipe your memory, drop into the game, you're born, you grow up, and then you're playing GTA. Like, it sounds crazier when you're used to Western program of like, oh no, like I got to be this way and I got to go to my job on Monday, and the Bears are playing this Sunday, and you have all this like mental activity of like how you're used to your reality. But the more present you get, and also when you're in a strange place like Thailand, but you're living there and doing business and training martial arts and all this stuff, like you kind of
It's pretty
realize that
wild.
you're just in GTA.
Yes.
Now I wouldn't recommend doing crimes, especially in Thailand, because prison there is terrible from what I've heard. But it's a better model
That's
to
what they do.
live
That's
life
what they
by.
just want you. They want you to think that.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't want to end up in prison, but I think it's a better model to live by. That like, you're not here to suffer and struggle. You're here to have a meaningful, enjoyable experience, I think. So, yeah. And
I'm
there's
with it.
less rules than you think.
Yes. Yeah, I
Beyond
feel
don't
like
die, there's no real, and don't go to prison. There's no actual rules.
right, other than what you have been assigned to think and believe. But I think that's why I love Thailand too, is I feel this sense of limitlessness when I go there. Like all of my programs dissolve around like right when I come back home, I notice I start like putting things on my calendar. I start living by the clock. I start like scheduling things. But like in Thailand, I don't like that doesn't even exist. Like I don't schedule anything. I'm just completely in the flow of life. And all of those constructs just kind of fade away. And then I think you really figure out who you are at your core when there's not a lot of social constructs to grasp onto, to cling to for a sense of identity. You really
Yeah,
figure out who you are and maybe who you're not.
true. Yeah, it does seem to just kind of dissolve a lot of expectations, so you're just left with what you are. Um,
Yes. And you give yourself like a bunch of space too in a place like that. It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be Thailand. You give yourself space in a sabbatical. I think most people, when they go travel, they go backpack, they schedule every moment of their lives still, just because it's so ingrained into them that like I need to have an itinerary. I need to schedule every single stop of my journey. But like, imagine you just went to a place and you had no plan and you like sat there for a week and just saw what happened. Like it's gonna sound kind of scary, but like if you do it, you're gonna figure out what is your soul's natural expression. Like you're gonna gravitate towards doing something. You're gonna start writing, you're gonna start singing, you're gonna start painting, you're gonna start doing something. And it's like it's your soul trying to finally come back and express itself after years of suppression under this mind matrix society that we live in.
yeah, I mean, on the itinerary thing, like I just realized like my parents, God bless them, every vacation that I've ever gone on is been like rigorously planned. And I just kind of assumed that was just my parents, but I feel like a lot of people do that.
Oh no, that's
Like a
how my
lot of
family
people,
is too,
yeah, I
for the
feel like
most
it's kind of
part.
like it's like natural, I guess, when you have like, kids and stuff, um, to try to plan it all out. But yeah, everything in life is planned out. And I feel like what scares most people is breaking the script.
Mm. That's when your life actually begins.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, it kind of looks like an abyss, but there is something a lot better on the other side, typically.
Yes. Yes. Dude, I think this is probably a good place to cap it off.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, that was a good chat. I like
Good
the
chat.
the
Episode
vision.
1.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for listening if you made it to the end of this episode. If you made it to the end of this episode, follow Bill on Twitter, Thailand_Bill33. Is that the right handle?
Yeah, yeah, that's the right one.
Okay. And then
Follow
mine
me
is
up.
Jack Moses 0. Follow the Transcendence account. It's called Transcend_U. These are all going to be linked below. And then, yeah, be on the lookout for different programs and things, different retreats that are going to be coming up next year. And most immediately is this Transcendence Sprint, which is going to be starting July 30th. So if you want to spend a month with us getting super dialed, taking everything to the next level, crystallizing your next self-image and next level of identity, and be in a community of people doing the same thing, and have me and Will kind of in your corner slash on your ass to do what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
We would love for you to join us. And with that, you also get lifetime free access to Sovereign Creators. So we would love to have you in there. I'm pumped for this month. Like I'm already feeling dialed, but like there's a new level to go to. And I'm excited for the group accountability. So we would love to have you guys in there.
Fired up.
All right, Bill, I'll talk to you soon.
See you soon.
Peace.